Good morning, brothers. That is going to be dinner today. That's my favourite. It's duck. It looks a bit black in there, but that's because it's been caramelised with the soy sauce and the honey. That's why I breed ducks. This is the first morning in probably over 4 weeks that I have woken up feeling back to almost my normal self. The blood tests that I've been getting have been coming back with nothing that's serious, but what's been going on in me has been quite different. Real pain in the chest and the heart, breathing, feels like something cutting inside me, and the heart's been all over the place. But this morning, even after a late night, I got up early and I'm just going to finish my cup of tea. Second drink of the morning. I had a coffee made by my son at about 7:30, but I was up at 6:30 this morning. And I didn't get to bed till about 1 o'clock. It was a late night. But I just felt better, which poses the question, was it getting that tooth ripped out that was making me sick the whole time? Did I get COVID but was asymptomatic and it didn't show up any of the tests and finally I've got over it? Don't know. This morning we got up, we went down to Grossie Point and filled the back of the cruiser up with that. It's the second load we've done. And then Murray, my landlord, gifted me all this here because he's a good bastard. We don't charge each other for stuff. I give him meat, I give him fish, he gives me stuff. And now my son, who's just been so good, has started to put us around the citrus grove. He's put weed cloth under that there, and then underneath the weed cloth he's dug out so it goes right in. And now he's putting these surrounds that Murray gave us, and we're going to fill the rest up right around here. He's done around my little citrus trees. I'm going to water them now, but we've been like doing this together this morning and it's going bloody awesome. So it's just so good to get my energy back again and be back on top of stuff. And that's Lizzie who's staying with us. So I don't know what's happened, and I don't know if it's just a temporary thing when I'm feeling back to my normal self, but I can tell you this, it just feels bloody good to be able to work, to be able to do jobs. I enjoy working. Work gives me a lot of pleasure. I love working. I love doing stuff with my body. I love hunting and fishing and kayaking and getting out, and we all do. And not having that for a while and having lost it, man, I was like thinking, shit, is this the end? And now it's like I've got it back. And it's slowly got better last week, but this morning was a real shift. I woke up and just, the jaw still hurts a little bit from where they've cut a bit of it out, but it's healing. There's no infection in there, which I'm lucky. And my heart, when I do shovel loads of bark and shovel loads of bloody compost. I was doing some compost earlier on. I'm doing all these jobs, the continuous around here. I'm not struggling and straining, so I have lost a lot of weight. I went right down to 60 kilogram and now I'm 61 this morning, so I've put a wee bit back on. And that was because the old heart was working overtime. But who knows what happened? Don't know. Could be the tooth, could have been COVID, it could have been something completely different. Sometimes you just don't know. Anyway, one of you guys, Pig Dog, was telling me got to look after the engine room. Damn right you do, mate. Without that there, we're buggered. Anyway, I won't be going too hard either. I'll be being sensible about it. That'll do, Pace. That'll do, Bigsy. They haven't had their walk this morning because I have been working, getting all that landscaping stuff sorted. All free too. The only thing that my son paid for was the weed cloth, 20 bucks of that, and all the bark chip. That's from the council. Thank you, Tasman District Council. That's actually the guys that work for them because they leave it there for the public, and also the surrounds. I mean, if you're buying that stuff, geez. They reckon you spend 10% of the value of a home on your landscaping if you're doing it properly. And, well, I wouldn't have spent anywhere near that around here. We're just going to fill that up and let it run in there. That's my enclosure for my nursery for my wasabi, my plants. They've got to be under complete shade. And I've got a wee thing at the top there. That's a little solar panel unit that powers a pump that makes the water circulate from here. And it goes round and round and round, and all the plants aside are getting fed water all the time. There they go into there. And it's just starting to come down there, you can see the water's coming in. Yeah, so we'll give those guys a bit of water too, just over the top. Okay, just talk about a few things this morning. I want to talk about anxiety. A debilitating, horrible condition, and probably just as bad, if not worse than, I won't say worse because depression kills people, but alongside depression. And I have had anxiety, but I don't suffer it. But I have had it. I've been anxious about things, and I've felt myself. I've got a very close friend. I'm not going to say his name. One of my really close mates that I hunt with and talk to him every day. And right now he's got COVID, and he's really struggling with a sore throat. But the hardest thing for him, I think, has been alienated and not having people around me. And he told me last night that he had the woman who also he caught COVID from come around and saw him, and that made him feel a whole lot better. And I am thinking he was probably growing quite anxious because he had an incredibly sore throat was his main symptom. But he said by her coming round, he felt a whole lot better. Now our mental health is everything because it affects our physical health hugely. They're tied together. If your mental's not right, your physical won't be right. And vice versa. Your physical health can stuff up your mental health too. It's all related. And he said he felt a whole lot better with her coming around and spending the afternoon with him. I haven't spoken to him this morning. I've been speaking to him twice a day. Or trying to, because he's losing his bloody voice. But the thing is that it made me realise the importance of us having people around us to relieve us when we are suffering anxiety. Having somebody to talk to about it. And being in a situation where you're not actually alone. Where you feel you've got some comfort. We go through this life and we suffer mostly alone. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, you wake up with a horrible thought or a horrible feeling or something's not right. And you may even have your partner beside you, but ultimately you're by yourself. And you've got to deal with it by yourself. We're born alone and we die alone. So it's really important that through our life that we are able to be alone and be comfortable being alone and being our own space. I haven't lived with a woman for probably 9 years now. I've got some mates that just can't be alone. They just can't be in their own presence with no one else. They've got to have that person to cuddle up to each night. They just can't get through it. They just feel like that, I don't know, they don't feel secure. But realistically, you have to have a time alone. And I would say this to every person that has just come out of a relationship. If you're listening to me now, have some time alone. You don't need to just get with somebody else. You don't have to fall into another person. Because that's what falling in love is. It's where your ego collapses into that person. You see it happen all the time. I had a really good hunting mate. He used to be in a lot of my videos. I won't say his name. But he came and stayed with me when his partner did the dirty on him. And I looked after him. We lived at the farmhouse for 6 months. And we hunted and we had a lot of fun together. But he always had to be with a woman. And as soon as he got with another one, he'd disappear out of my life. And to the point when I came out of hospital real sick, and I was really, really struggling 3 years ago, he didn't even visit me in hospital, and he never even came visit me after I got out of hospital, because he's so tangled up with his woman. That's not healthy. Mates look after mates whether they've got a wife or not. Mates care about mates regardless of what's even going on with their own suffering and that. And that's what good mates do. But mates that have to be with a woman all the time, really, they haven't really got it in a place where they are going to be happy throughout their life regardless of having a partner, because ultimately sooner or later we're alone. We die alone. Now you might have your family around you, but it's you experiencing it, nobody else. So being comfortable in your own skin is a real important thing, and don't go from one woman to another, men. Have time alone. The only reason I can see to be with a woman these days is that she complements your life and you complement hers. If somebody's not complementing your life and making it better, then that's no reason to be with someone. But a lot of my mates are with women they shouldn't be with because either they've got a financial commitment with each other and they don't want to divide the house down the middle, or because they're emotionally insecure to be alone. That's not a good reason. You should be with somebody because they're complementing your life, making it better, and that you're sharing your happiness with them. That's a good reason to be with someone. Our job is to protect, to provide for. That's a man's job. And the woman's job is to take care of the children. The men do too, but the women do it so much better for the first part of the children's lives when they're little babies. And I would say a man's job is also to support the mother with the children. I would say the best mothers are ones that have supportive partners. That might sound like a bit chauvinistic, but I believe that being a solo mum, you're never going to be as good as a mother that has a partner that's supporting her throughout, because it's bloody hard raising children. And these are my baby wasabi plants. There's a couple of weeds in there. They're grown from seed, the first seeded plants I've ever had. Look at this big sucker. Ooh, nice big capsicum. In America they call them bell peppers. Anyway, it's great to be coming to you guys today with energy and not being breathless when I'm talking. Just talking was difficult for a while. It's something really had stuffed me up, something I'd never felt before. And I hope it's gone and doesn't come back. I won't get too excited because it's the first day where I felt half normal and I can actually do some bloody work. And I'll be doing a lot of work today because I'm so far behind with jobs. There's fish out there to be caught. They're still out there, but I've got work around the farm to do today. I'll put a second duck feeder out on the ducks, and yeah, I'm just going to smash out all the work that's got behind. I've got cleaning, I've got paperwork, but right now it's the garden. Oh, can't wait to harvest these suckers. Yams, red ones and yellow ones, growing in the mussel boys. I've got an avocado tree to plant out. I've got lettuce growing in my worm farm. Look at this. And the worm juice is filling up. There's the worm juice that goes into the wasabi. And I've also got to clean the chicken house out because the shit's built up. Right, that's me today. Check on a brother, check on yourself. I hope if you are in a situation where you were like me a while ago where you're struggling to do stuff, that you get through okay. And I know how it feels, man. I sure know how it feels, and I'm thinking of you. I really am. If you write a comment down and say, hey, I can't do this anymore, I know what it feels like. I'm there. I've been there. And I really feel sorry that you're in that situation, because it's not nice. But sometimes things just come right for no reason. Another theory is that I had a clot in my lungs and it went through. The doctors thought there was a clot and they did a blood test, but they never found it. But they told me when I was there, they said it can break off at any time and cause a stroke, or it can break off in small bits and you can come right. Just don't know. Go steady, check on my brother, check on yourself. Thanks for hearing us out, and I am going to carry on with this day by walking my dogs. Because the old doggies, they've been suffering while I've been suffering. They haven't had the big walks 3 times a day like they normally had. They've had one where I let them out, stand by the kennel, puff and pant. I was going to say paff and punt. Puff and pant like an old man. How you going, hey? But now we're into it. Good morning, Big Z. Big Z. Big Z always gives me a hug and take him. Hello, Pace. You behave yourself and don't jump up. There you go. There you go. He's got a bark collar on. Stop him barking. I reckon we'll be hunting you guys soon. Thomas is coming to stay with us tomorrow. Thomas is the guy that runs. He's the runner for Sneak. Not the Sneak, he's the runner. That's a mate of mine that hunts. Big Z. He's a good boy. He's a good boy, eh? Righto, guys. Have a great day. We'll see you. See you in the next video. See you later. We going for a walk? We going for a walk?